Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Without Limit podcast. I'm Julia, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. On this channel, we explore real-life stories, everyday situations, and conversations to help you improve your English listening and speaking skills, step by step. Today, I have some engaging stories and examples for C1 level learners that focus on problem solving, communication, teamwork, and decision-making, all in everyday life and professional settings. So, let's get started. Let's begin with a story about handling pressure. Last week, my friend Daniel shared a challenge he faced at work. Daniel works in a busy tech company, and one morning he received an urgent email from his manager. He had just 2 hours to prepare a detailed report. Naturally, he felt stressed at first. It seemed almost impossible. But then Daniel remembered some time management strategies he had practiced over the years. He broke the task into smaller steps, focused on the key points first, and ignored distractions. By the end of 2 hours, the report was complete, and he sent it to his manager. Daniel told me the feeling of satisfaction was incredible. From this story, we can learn 2 important lessons. First, staying calm under pressure helps you think clearly. And second, careful planning makes big challenges manageable. Now, let's bring this closer to home. My neighbor Sarah recently decided to renovate her kitchen. She had a long list of tasks, from buying new appliances to painting the walls. At first, this could have been overwhelming, but instead of panicking, Sarah created a detailed plan. She prioritized tasks and even asked her husband for help. By working together and planning each step, they completed the renovation smoothly, and the results were amazing. This story shows that collaboration and careful planning can turn a complicated project into a successful, enjoyable experience. Speaking of planning, let me share a personal experience. A few months ago, I decided to organize a small family gathering. It was my first time arranging something like this on my own, and I wasn't sure where to start. So I made a checklist, set the menu, invited friends and family, and even prepared decorations. On the day of the gathering, everything went perfectly. I realized that preparation and attention to detail make any event more enjoyable for everyone. Now let's talk about communication, a skill we all use every day. My colleague Michael works with international clients. He once had a meeting with a client from Germany who seemed unsure about a point. Instead of assuming, he politely asked for clarification. This small action prevented a misunderstanding and built trust. Think about this for a moment. Imagine you're at a family dinner and someone shares a story that's unclear. Instead of nodding and pretending to understand, you could ask, "Could you explain that part again?" Or, "I'm not sure I understand. Can you give an example?" Using polite and clear language not only improves understanding, but also shows respect. Now, let's explore problem solving. Last month, my friend Laura had 2 projects due at the same time. Both were important. She could have panicked, but instead she assessed which project needed immediate attention and which could wait. She also sought advice from her husband, who suggested dividing her work into focused sessions. By managing her time wisely, Laura completed both projects successfully. This example reminds us that breaking problems into smaller steps and seeking guidance can be a smart strategy in any situation. Here's a fun vocabulary tip. Have you ever tried mindful listening? I practiced it with my neighbor, Mr. Thompson. Normally, I start thinking about my response when someone is speaking, but this time I focused entirely on understanding his words. I noticed I missed fewer details and could respond more accurately. Mindful listening improves understanding and strengthens communication. Let me share another example. My friend Rachel, who is a teacher, tells me that her students improve quickly when they practice storytelling in English every day. One of her students, Adam, struggled to express his ideas at first. By practicing daily, Adam gained confidence and could clearly explain his thoughts in just a few weeks. This shows us that consistent practice is key to mastering advanced English. Now, imagine a travel scenario. My friend Thomas was at the airport with his wife, Emma. Their flight was delayed, and they worried about missing their connection. Instead of panicking, Thomas asked the airline staff for clear instructions. They followed the advice carefully and reached their destination on time. This story highlights the importance of staying calm and using polite, clear communication even in stressful situations. Speaking of stress, I want to share a personal lesson. A few weeks ago, I was preparing for an important presentation. I felt nervous because it was high stakes. Then I remembered that practicing out loud builds confidence. I rehearsed my speech, anticipated questions, and even timed myself. On the day of the presentation, everything went smoothly. Preparation reduced my anxiety and helped me speak confidently. Let's move to social situations. My friend David invited me to a charity event he organized. I wanted to ask questions to an influential speaker, Mr. Carter. Instead of interrupting, I waited for a natural pause and asked concise, clear questions. He appreciated my approach and shared valuable insights. This shows that polite timing and clarity are key in professional or formal conversations. Now, consider a household example. My neighbor Sophia was teaching her children how to cook. They made mistakes and got frustrated. Instead of criticizing them, she calmly explained each step and encouraged them to try again. Her supportive approach helped them learn faster, and they even enjoyed cooking together. Patience and clear explanation improve understanding and teamwork. Another example comes from my friend James, who loves outdoor activities. He organized a family hiking trip and prepared carefully, checking trails, equipment, and safety precautions. During the hike, one of the children got tired, but James had planned breaks and snacks. The trip was enjoyable for everyone. Planning ahead and communicating expectations clearly makes experiences smoother and more fun. Let's shift to a professional scenario. My colleague Olivia had to negotiate a contract with a new client. She listened carefully, asked precise questions, and repeated key points to confirm understanding. By the end, both sides reached a satisfactory agreement. This story demonstrates that patience, careful listening, and clarification are essential in professional communication. Even small daily interactions matter. Last week, I helped translate prices at a local market for a foreign customer. Clear, polite communication ensured everyone understood each other, and the vendor thanked me. Simple, precise communication can build goodwill and make interactions easier. Here's a vocabulary tip. Using words like clarify, confirm, ensure, or demonstrate makes your English more precise. For example, instead of saying, "I think this is right," you can say, "Let me clarify the details to ensure everything is correct." Small adjustments in language make your speech more professional and effective. Finally, let me share a story about problem solving at home. My friend Henry noticed his Wi-Fi was slow. Instead of immediately calling a technician, he checked the router, restarted it, and identified a device consuming too much bandwidth. By troubleshooting step by step, he solved the problem himself. This demonstrates that analyzing problems carefully and taking methodical action often leads to faster, better solutions. Another example of teamwork comes from my friend Olivia at work. Her consulting team faced a tight deadline and incomplete data. Instead of blaming anyone, Olivia called a quick meeting to distribute responsibilities and prioritize critical tasks. By supporting each other, they finished ahead of schedule. Teamwork and communication can turn challenges into success. I also remember making a tough decision at home. My wife and I wanted to renovate our living room with a limited budget. We prioritized visible changes, like repainting walls and adding a few decorations. The result was beautiful and cost-effective. Thoughtful decision-making and clear communication between family members make planning and execution easier. Finally, adapting to new technology is another essential skill. My colleague Mark introduced a new software tool at work. Many colleagues struggled at first. Instead of avoiding it, Mark organized a short workshop and created a simple guide. The team quickly became confident and productivity improved. Guiding others patiently makes complex tasks manageable. And here's one from my own life. I organized a small business event with international guests. Some had dietary restrictions, so I clarified their needs in advance and coordinated with the catering team. The event went smoothly and everyone felt comfortable. Attention to detail and clear communication improve outcomes and ensure everyone feels respected. Even professional misunderstandings can be solved calmly. My colleague James once had a client misinterpret an email. Instead of reacting defensively, he called politely and clarified his points. The client appreciated the effort, and the situation was resolved. Calm, respectful, and direct communication works better than avoiding problems. Let's start with a story about learning from mistakes. My friend Rachel, who teaches English, shared a story about one of her students, David. David often mispronounced certain words during class, and at first, he felt embarrassed. Instead of giving up, he recorded himself speaking daily and listened carefully to identify his mistakes. With consistent practice, David improved significantly. This story highlights the importance of self-reflection, patience, and daily practice when learning advanced skills. I want to share a personal story about time management. A few weeks ago, I had to write an important report for work while also preparing for a family event. At first, it seemed impossible to complete both tasks on time. I created a clear schedule, allocating focused time blocks for each task. During the family event, I remained fully present, and when it was time to work, I focused without distractions. By planning carefully and managing my attention, I completed both responsibilities efficiently. This example shows that effective time management is crucial for balancing professional and personal life. Here's a story about problem solving in everyday life. My friend Emma noticed that her car had a flat tire early one morning. She could have waited for roadside assistance, but she decided to try fixing it herself. She followed a step-by-step guide from a reliable source and successfully changed the tire within 30 minutes. Emma told me the sense of achievement was incredible. This shows that taking initiative and carefully following instructions often leads to successful problem solving. Now let's think about decision-making in uncertain situations. My friend Daniel had to choose between two job offers. One company offered higher pay, while the other provided better career growth opportunities.
Daniel made a list of his priorities, including long-term goals and work-life balance. After careful evaluation, he chose the job that aligned better with his personal and professional aspirations. This example illustrates that making informed decisions requires analyzing options carefully and considering long-term consequences. Here's an example from community work. My neighbor Sophia volunteered at a local charity event. She noticed that many volunteers were unsure of their tasks, which could have caused confusion. Sophia created a simple instruction guide and coordinated small groups efficiently. The event went smoothly, and everyone appreciated her clear guidance. This shows that organizing information and communicating effectively helps groups perform better and achieve goals successfully. Let's look at a professional scenario. My colleague Michael had to present complex financial data to a team unfamiliar with the topic. Instead of overwhelming them with numbers, he simplified the information using clear visuals and real-life examples. By doing so, everyone understood the key points quickly, and the discussion became productive. This demonstrates that simplifying complex information and using relatable examples improves understanding, especially in professional settings. Here's a story about everyday problem solving at home. Last month, my friend Laura's kitchen sink started leaking. Instead of panicking, she inspected the pipes carefully and identified the source of the leak. She researched a solution online, bought the necessary tools, and fixed it herself. Her husband helped with some tasks, and together they solved the problem efficiently. This shows that observing carefully, researching solutions, and collaborating with others often leads to practical results. Another interesting story comes from travel planning. My friend Anna planned a vacation to multiple countries. She created a detailed itinerary including transportation, accommodation, and sightseeing. On one day, a train was canceled unexpectedly, but because she had prepared alternative plans in advance, she and her husband quickly adapted without losing time or missing activities. This story illustrates that planning ahead and preparing for contingencies makes travel smoother and less stressful. Here's a story about learning new skills. My friend James decided to take cooking lessons to improve his skills at home. He faced challenges initially because some recipes were complex. Instead of giving up, he practiced the same recipes repeatedly, asked the instructor questions, and made small adjustments each time. After several weeks, he was able to cook delicious meals confidently. This example shows that persistence, practice, and seeking guidance are essential for mastering advanced skills. Now let's discuss networking. My colleague Olivia attended an international conference recently. She wanted to meet influential people in her field, but felt nervous about starting conversations. She prepared questions in advance, introduced herself politely, and listened carefully to others' responses. By showing genuine interest and asking thoughtful questions, she built meaningful connections. This demonstrates that preparation, listening, and polite engagement are keys to successful networking. Finally, let's talk about handling feedback. My friend Daniel once received constructive criticism from his manager regarding a presentation. Initially, he felt disappointed, but he decided to focus on the lessons rather than the emotion. He asked his manager for specific suggestions and implemented them in his next presentation. The improvement was noticeable, and Daniel felt proud of his growth. This shows that receiving feedback openly and applying it carefully leads to continuous improvement. My friend Sarah recently shared an interesting story about conflict resolution at work. She works in a marketing company, and two team members disagreed on the approach for a campaign. Instead of letting the situation escalate, Sarah suggested a meeting where each person could present their ideas calmly. She facilitated the discussion, encouraging everyone to listen carefully without interrupting. By the end, they combined the best aspects of both proposals into a stronger strategy. This story shows that mediating discussions and listening attentively helps resolve conflicts effectively. I also want to share a personal experience related to decision-making under uncertainty. Last year, I needed to choose between two apartments. One was close to work, but smaller, while the other was larger but farther away. I created a pros and cons list, considered long-term comfort, and discussed the options with my wife. We chose the apartment that suited our lifestyle better, and the decision turned out to be excellent. This example demonstrates that weighing priorities, analyzing options, and discussing decisions with trusted people leads to better outcomes. Let's consider a professional scenario involving negotiation. My colleague Michael recently had to negotiate a contract with a supplier. Instead of focusing only on price, he explored additional aspects such as delivery time, quality assurance, and payment terms. By discussing these factors openly and finding common ground, Michael reached an agreement that benefited both sides. This story illustrates that successful negotiation requires understanding multiple perspectives and focusing on mutual gains. Here's an example of adaptability in daily life. My neighbor Laura experienced a sudden power outage during a family gathering. Instead of letting the situation spoil the evening, she quickly arranged candles and board games. Her family enjoyed the evening despite the inconvenience. This story shows that staying calm, thinking creatively, and adapting to unexpected challenges make situations more manageable and enjoyable. Travel experiences often teach valuable lessons. My friend David and his wife recently went on a hiking trip in the mountains. During the hike, they encountered a blocked trail due to fallen trees. Rather than turning back immediately, they asked locals for advice and discovered an alternative route. They adjusted their plan, enjoyed the rest of the hike, and even discovered a beautiful scenic spot they would have missed. This shows that flexibility, problem solving, and asking for guidance lead to positive experiences even when unexpected obstacles occur. Let's discuss learning from mistakes. My friend Rachel, who teaches English, shared a story about a student named Emma. Emma often made grammatical errors in her essays, and at first she felt discouraged. Instead of giving up, Emma reviewed each correction carefully, practiced similar sentences, and asked her teacher questions whenever she was unsure. After consistent practice, Emma's writing improved significantly. This story highlights the importance of persistence, reflection, and asking for clarification to advance language skills.
Here's an example of effective communication at home. My friend Henry noticed that his wife was unhappy with the way household chores were divided. Instead of arguing, he suggested a calm discussion where they could list tasks and assign responsibilities fairly. By listening to each other's concerns and finding a compromise, they created a plan that worked for both of them. This shows that clear communication, empathy, and negotiation improve relationships and daily life. Finally, I want to share a story about problem solving in professional life. My colleague Olivia had to lead a team that was falling behind on a project. She noticed that team members were confused about priorities. Instead of assigning blame, she organized a short meeting, clarified each person's role, and provided guidance on critical tasks. With this clear direction, the team regained momentum and finished the project successfully. This demonstrates that leadership, clarity, and support are essential for managing teams effectively. Let's begin with a story about cultural awareness. My friend Thomas recently traveled to another country for work. During a business lunch, he noticed differences in dining etiquette. Instead of assuming, he asked his local colleagues for advice and followed their guidance carefully. His respect for cultural norms impressed his colleagues and helped build stronger professional relationships.
This story shows that observing, asking questions, and adapting to cultural context are crucial in international interactions. Here's an example of learning new skills step by step. My friend James decided to learn photography. Initially, he struggled with camera settings and composition. Instead of getting frustrated, he studied tutorials, practiced daily, and asked for feedback from experienced photographers. Gradually, his photos improved, and he even participated in a local exhibition. This story highlights that consistent practice, patience, and seeking guidance are key to mastering advanced skills. I also want to share a lesson about preparation. Last month, I had to give a presentation at a professional seminar. I spent time researching the topic thoroughly, preparing slides, and practicing multiple times. During the seminar, I presented confidently and responded to questions effectively. This experience taught me that preparation, practice, and anticipating possible questions are crucial for success in public speaking. Let's discuss problem solving in unexpected situations. My friend Emma once found herself locked out of her house early in the morning. Instead of panicking, she called a locksmith while checking windows and doors for safe entry. She also asked her husband to bring spare keys. The situation was resolved quickly, and they both learned the importance of keeping a spare plan. This shows that staying calm, thinking logically, and coordinating with others helps solve emergencies efficiently. Here's an example of effective delegation. My colleague David manages a team of 6 people. During a busy project, he realized he could not handle every task alone. Instead of doing everything himself, he identified each team member's strengths and assigned responsibilities accordingly. By trusting his team and providing guidance, the project was completed on time and exceeded expectations. This demonstrates that delegation, trust, and strategic planning are essential leadership skills. Let's consider a scenario involving technology adaptation. My friend Laura started using a new project management tool at work. Initially, she found it confusing and inefficient. Instead of ignoring it, she spent time learning tutorials, attending webinars, and asking colleagues for tips. Gradually, she became proficient and discovered features that significantly improved her workflow. This story shows that embracing new tools, asking questions, and learning step by step enhances productivity and efficiency. Now, let's explore a story about careful observation. My neighbor Michael noticed that his garden plants were wilting despite regular watering. He researched online, examined the soil, and realized that certain plants required specific sunlight. By adjusting the plant positions and watering routines, the garden flourished. This example highlights that careful observation, research, and adapting actions according to findings improve results in daily life. Here's a professional scenario about managing pressure. My colleague Olivia had to meet a tight deadline while handling multiple client calls. Instead of rushing, she prioritized tasks, focused on one task at a time, and communicated clearly with clients about progress. By staying organized and calm, she completed the work efficiently without mistakes. This story shows that time management, prioritization, and clear communication are vital skills in high-pressure situations. Another interesting story comes from social interactions. My friend James attended a networking event where he did not know anyone. Instead of feeling anxious, he prepared a few questions and topics in advance. By approaching people politely, listening carefully, and engaging with genuine curiosity, he built meaningful connections. This demonstrates that preparation, confidence, and active listening help develop professional and social networks. Travel experiences often provide lessons in adaptability. My friend Anna and her husband planned a road trip across several cities. On the first day, their car broke down unexpectedly. Instead of letting frustration take over, they researched nearby repair shops, arranged a temporary vehicle, and adjusted their schedule. The trip continued smoothly, and they even discovered a small town they had not planned to visit. This story illustrates that flexibility, problem solving, and staying calm enhance travel experiences. Let's consider a learning scenario. My friend David decided to improve his public speaking skills. Initially, he stumbled over words and felt nervous. Instead of avoiding practice, he recorded himself, analyzed mistakes, and rehearsed regularly. Gradually, his confidence and clarity improved significantly. This example shows that consistent practice, reflection, and willingness to face challenges strengthen advanced skills. Here's a story about balancing work and personal life. My colleague Henry often had long work hours, which affected family time. He decided to create a schedule that allocated focused work periods and specific family moments. By communicating boundaries clearly with colleagues and family, he improved productivity at work while maintaining strong personal relationships. This story demonstrates that planning, prioritization, and clear communication help maintain balance in daily life. Last week, my friend Daniel shared a story about a team-building activity at his workplace. His company organized a problem-solving challenge where teams had to build a small structure using limited materials. Daniel and his team faced several setbacks when parts of their design failed repeatedly. Instead of giving up, they paused, discussed alternative solutions, and divided tasks according to each member's strengths. By collaborating and testing ideas carefully, they successfully completed the challenge. This demonstrates that creativity, patience, and teamwork are crucial when facing difficult tasks. I remember a personal experience from a few months ago. I was helping my wife plan a surprise birthday gathering for a close friend. We had to coordinate guests, decorations, and food, all while keeping it a secret. To manage this smoothly, we made a detailed checklist, divided responsibilities, and set specific deadlines for each task. On the day of the event, everything went perfectly, and the celebration was memorable. This story shows that careful planning and clear communication make even complex tasks achievable.
Let's consider a professional scenario. My colleague Olivia had to handle a client complaint regarding a delayed project. She remained calm, listened attentively to the client's concerns, and repeated the key points to ensure she understood correctly. Then she explained the steps the team would take to resolve the issue and provided a realistic timeline. By addressing the problem professionally and clearly, Olivia not only resolved the complaint, but also strengthened the client's trust. This highlights the importance of active listening and precise communication in professional settings. Here's a story about adaptability in travel. My friend Sarah and her husband booked a train journey across several countries. On the first day, their connecting train was canceled due to maintenance work. Instead of panicking, Sarah calmly checked alternative routes, contacted the station staff, and adjusted their schedule. They reached their destination safely and even discovered a small local cafe where they enjoyed a unique cultural experience. This example demonstrates that flexibility, problem solving, and maintaining composure lead to positive experiences even when plans change unexpectedly. Let's talk about learning from mistakes. My friend James once attempted to cook a complicated recipe for a family dinner. He followed the instructions but missed a crucial step, and the dish did not turn out as expected. Instead of feeling discouraged, he analyzed what went wrong, consulted additional resources, and tried again a few days later.
His second attempt was successful, and the family enjoyed the meal. This story emphasizes that persistence, reflection, and willingness to correct errors are key to mastering new skills. Here's another example of effective delegation. My colleague David was managing a project with multiple deadlines. Instead of attempting to do everything himself, he identified the strengths of each team member and assigned specific tasks accordingly. He provided guidance and set clear expectations while allowing the team autonomy. The project was completed on time and exceeded quality expectations. This story shows that delegation, trust, and strategic planning are essential leadership skills. Now let's consider a situation at home. My neighbor Laura was organizing a small garden party with friends and family. She realized that planning the seating arrangement, food, and activities for everyone could become stressful. To make it smoother, she asked her husband to handle decorations while she focused on preparing the menu. They communicated clearly and divided responsibilities efficiently. On the day of the party, everything ran smoothly and guests enjoyed themselves. This demonstrates that teamwork and clear role allocation reduce stress and increase efficiency. Let's start with professional communication. My friend Henry works in an international company and recently attended a video conference with colleagues from different countries. During the discussion, he noticed that some participants hesitated to share their opinions due to language barriers. Henry encouraged everyone to contribute, repeated key points for clarity, and summarized decisions at the end. This approach ensured effective communication and participation. It's a great reminder that patience, encouragement, and clarity are critical when working with diverse teams. Now, let's consider emergency preparedness. My neighbor Emma experienced a sudden power outage during a storm. Instead of panicking, she checked flashlights, charged mobile devices in advance, and coordinated with neighbors to ensure everyone was safe. She even helped a family with small children manage the situation calmly. This illustrates that preparation, foresight, and helping others are essential skills in emergencies. Here's a story about learning English in a structured way. My friend Rachel, who teaches English, shared a story about her student Adam. Adam struggled with complex sentence structures and advanced vocabulary. Instead of avoiding these challenges, he created flashcards, practiced sentences aloud daily, and asked for explanations whenever needed. Over time, his accuracy and confidence improved significantly. This example highlights the importance of consistent practice, active learning, and curiosity when mastering advanced English. Problem solving is another key skill, especially in professional contexts. My colleague Olivia noticed her team was behind schedule on a critical project. She analyzed the workflow, identified bottlenecks, and proposed a revised plan with clear priorities. She also held short daily check-ins to monitor progress and adjust strategies as needed. By implementing this approach, the team caught up and delivered quality results. This story demonstrates that analyzing problems, planning strategically, and monitoring progress are essential for success at work. Let's look at a social scenario. My friend James attended a networking event where he didn't know anyone. Instead of waiting to be approached, he prepared thoughtful questions and introduced himself politely. By showing genuine interest, listening actively, and engaging in meaningful conversations, he made several valuable connections. This example shows that preparation, confidence, and attentive listening are powerful tools for building both professional and social networks. Adaptability is another important skill. My neighbor Michael's kitchen appliances suddenly stopped working. Instead of becoming frustrated, he researched solutions online, followed step-by-step instructions, and fixed the issues himself. He also taught his wife how to handle similar situations in the future. This demonstrates that adaptability, research, and practical problem-solving skills make everyday challenges manageable. Balancing work and personal life is always a challenge. My colleague Henry used to spend long hours at the office, which affected family time. He decided to create a structured schedule, focusing on productive work hours and designated family periods. By communicating boundaries and prioritizing effectively, he managed both professional responsibilities and personal commitments successfully. The story shows that planning, prioritization, and clear communication improve productivity and relationships. Cultural awareness is another area where observation and flexibility matter. My friend Anna traveled for work to a country with very different business etiquette. She observed carefully, asked polite questions, and adapted her communication style accordingly. By doing this, she built strong relationships with local colleagues and avoided misunderstandings. This story highlights that observation, respect, and flexibility are essential for international collaboration. Decision-making is key in everyday life too. My friend Laura had to choose between two vacation options, a beach holiday or a mountain trek. She considered preferences, physical demands, and overall enjoyment for the family. After discussing priorities with her husband, they chose the beach holiday, which everyone enjoyed. This example shows that evaluating options, discussing priorities, and making thoughtful decisions lead to better outcomes in personal life. Handling challenging clients requires patience and organization. My colleague Daniel had a client who often changed requirements. Instead of becoming frustrated, Daniel organized regular check-ins, summarized agreements in writing, and confirmed expectations. By maintaining clarity and patience, he successfully managed the client's needs and strengthened the business relationship. This story demonstrates that organization, communication, and patience are critical in demanding situations.
Personal growth often comes from persistence. My friend James decided to learn a new language. Initially, he struggled with pronunciation and grammar. Instead of giving up, he practiced daily, engaged in conversations with native speakers, and reviewed mistakes carefully. Over time, his skills improved, and he felt more confident using the language. This story emphasizes that persistence, practice, and active engagement lead to measurable progress. Teamwork also plays a key role in personal projects. My friend Emma wanted to repaint her house with her family. Instead of doing everything alone, she assigned tasks based on skills and interests. Her husband handled painting walls, while Emma focused on finishing touches and decorations. By coordinating efforts, the project was completed efficiently, and everyone enjoyed contributing. This example shows that collaboration, delegation, and clear communication enhance both results and enjoyment. Strategic thinking is essential at work. My friend Daniel was assigned a project with multiple objectives and limited time. Instead of approaching tasks randomly, he analyzed which goals were most critical and developed a step-by-step plan. He consulted his team for ideas and delegated responsibilities according to each member's strengths. By staying organized and focusing on priorities, Daniel's team completed the project successfully and exceeded expectations. This story illustrates that strategic thinking, planning, and collaboration lead to effective problem solving. Clear communication matters in daily life, too. A few weeks ago, I had to coordinate a dinner with friends who had different dietary restrictions. Instead of assuming their preferences, I asked each person politely about their needs and organized the menu accordingly. On the evening of the dinner, everyone felt comfortable and the gathering went smoothly. This example shows that clear communication and attention to details improve social interactions and help avoid misunderstandings. Adaptability is also important in professional settings. My colleague Olivia recently had to prepare a presentation for an unexpected meeting. She didn't have all the data she needed, so she quickly gathered essential information, prioritized key points, and used visuals to make her message clear.
Despite the challenge, the presentation was well received. This story shows that flexibility, prioritization, and creative problem solving are essential when facing unexpected professional tasks. Effective time management is another vital skill. My friend Henry recently had a busy week with both personal and professional commitments. Instead of trying to multitask inefficiently, he created a schedule with focused blocks of time for work and personal activities. He also included short breaks to refresh his mind. By following this structured approach, he completed all tasks successfully without feeling overwhelmed. This demonstrates that planning, prioritization, and structured time management improve productivity and reduce stress. Travel often teaches flexibility. My friend Anna and her husband were visiting a historic city and planned to explore several landmarks in a single day. When they discovered one site was closed unexpectedly, they calmly adjusted their itinerary, explored alternative attractions nearby, and continued enjoying the day. This story highlights that flexibility, quick thinking, and a positive attitude make travel experiences more enjoyable even when unexpected events occur. Problem solving at home can be rewarding too. My neighbor Laura noticed that her washing machine was leaking water. Instead of panicking, she examined the machine carefully, researched possible causes online, and followed instructions to fix the issue. Her husband assisted with some parts, and together they resolved the problem efficiently. This story shows that careful observation, research, and collaboration often lead to effective solutions for everyday problems. Learning from feedback is a critical part of growth. My friend Rachel, who teaches English, shared a story about one of her students, Michael. Michael frequently made mistakes in pronunciation and grammar. Instead of feeling discouraged, he listened carefully to feedback, practiced regularly, and asked for clarification whenever he was unsure. Over time, his accuracy and confidence improved noticeably. This example demonstrates that accepting feedback, practicing consistently, and asking questions are key to improving advanced skills. Finally, let's talk about negotiation. My colleague David had to negotiate terms with a supplier. Instead of focusing solely on price, he considered delivery schedules, quality standards, and long-term cooperation. He communicated clearly, listened to the supplier's priorities, and found common ground. The negotiation concluded successfully, benefiting both parties. This story shows that understanding multiple perspectives, clear communication, and problem solving are essential in negotiations. Let's begin with collaboration in team projects. My friend Sarah works in a design agency and was assigned to lead a creative team. Some team members disagreed on the approach for a campaign. Sarah encouraged everyone to share their ideas, summarize the key points, and suggested a combined approach that incorporated everyone's strengths. The final project outcome was stronger than any individual plan. This story shows that active listening, inclusion, and collaboration can truly enhance team performance and creativity. Now, let's talk about effective planning in everyday life. My friend Thomas was organizing a charity event. He had to coordinate volunteers, manage resources, and ensure everything ran smoothly. He created a detailed schedule, assigned clear responsibilities, and prepared contingency plans. The event went perfectly, and participants appreciated the organization. This demonstrates that thoughtful planning, clear communication, and foresight lead to successful outcomes in both personal and professional projects. Here's an example of adaptability during travel. My friend Emma and her husband had planned a long weekend in a remote town. When they arrived, they discovered that a major attraction was unexpectedly closed. Instead of being disappointed, they explored local hidden spots, asked locals for recommendations, and found enjoyable alternatives. This story highlights that maintaining a flexible mindset and seeking creative solutions make experiences richer and more rewarding. Problem solving is vital in professional life. My colleague Olivia noticed her team was falling behind on deadlines due to unclear task assignments. She quickly organized a meeting, clarified each member's responsibilities, and provided step-by-step guidance. By giving structure and support, the team regained focus and completed the project on time. This example shows that clear instructions, guidance, and proactive problem solving are essential for professional success. Communication at home is equally important. My friend Henry realized that small misunderstandings with his wife about household tasks caused frustration. Instead of arguing, they had a calm discussion, listed responsibilities, and agreed on a schedule. By communicating openly and negotiating fairly, they created a smoother daily routine and stronger understanding. This story demonstrates that honesty, clarity, and compromise improve relationships.
Learning from challenges is another key lesson. My friend James decided to learn coding to improve his career prospects. Initially, he struggled with complex concepts and writing programs. Instead of giving up, he studied tutorials, practiced small projects daily, and asked experienced colleagues for help. Over time, he successfully completed a real project. This story illustrates that persistence, structured practice, and seeking guidance lead to mastering advanced skills. Teamwork and personal projects can be equally rewarding. My friend Emma wanted to redecorate her home. Instead of doing everything alone, she involved her husband, assigning tasks based on their skills. He handled furniture arrangement while she focused on painting and finishing touches. By coordinating efficiently, they completed the project faster and enjoyed the process. This example shows that collaboration, division of tasks, and clear communication enhance both efficiency and satisfaction. Professional pressure can be challenging. My colleague David faced a critical client meeting where unexpected issues arose. Instead of panicking, he remained calm, focused on key priorities, and communicated solutions clearly. The client appreciated his professionalism and problem-solving approach. This story highlights that composure, prioritization, and effective communication are vital in high-pressure situations. Decision-making in daily life often requires careful evaluation. My friend Laura had to choose between two housing options. One was close to work but smaller, while the other was larger but farther away. She considered commute, lifestyle, and long-term plans, discussing options with her husband. They made a choice that suited their family best. This example demonstrates that evaluating options, discussing priorities, and careful decision-making lead to better personal outcomes. Adapting to new technology is essential in our modern world. My friend Michael's company implemented a new project management system. Initially, he struggled to navigate it efficiently. Instead of avoiding the challenge, he explored tutorials, asked colleagues for tips, and practiced regularly. Eventually, he mastered the tool and improved his workflow significantly. This story shows that adaptability, willingness to learn, and persistence are key to mastering new skills. Learning from observation is another powerful skill. My neighbor Sarah noticed her garden plants were not thriving. She researched their specific needs, observed sunlight and soil conditions, and adjusted care routines. Within weeks, her garden flourished. This example highlights that careful observation, research, and adjusting actions based on findings lead to better results in everyday life. Social skills are important in professional networking too. My friend James attended a large industry conference where he didn't know anyone. He prepared thoughtful questions, introduced himself politely, and listened actively. By engaging sincerely, he built valuable professional relationships. This story shows that preparation, confidence, and active listening strengthen networks effectively. Leadership in community projects is also essential. My friend Thomas volunteered to organize a local cleanup initiative.
Initially, people were unsure of their roles and some tasks overlapped. Thomas created a clear plan, assigned responsibilities, and set realistic deadlines. By keeping communication open and encouraging feedback, the project was completed efficiently. This example demonstrates that clear leadership, organization, and encouraging collaboration are crucial for achieving collective goals. Effective preparation prevents stress. Last month, I organized a family trip visiting multiple cities. To ensure everything went smoothly, I researched transportation options, booked accommodations in advance, and created a flexible itinerary. Unexpected delays occurred, but because I had alternative plans and clear schedules, everything remained enjoyable. This story shows that preparation and anticipating challenges lead to stress-free experiences. Problem-solving in professional life is essential. My colleague Olivia faced a sudden software issue during a critical presentation. Instead of panicking, she calmly explained the situation, switched to a backup plan, and continued using alternative visuals. Her composure impressed colleagues and clients. This demonstrates that staying calm, having backup options, and adapting quickly are essential when facing unexpected challenges at work. Strategic thinking improves daily life too. My friend Emma wanted to optimize her morning routine. She analyzed how she spent her time, identified less productive activities, and planned a schedule that maximized focus and energy. After a few weeks, she felt more organized and accomplished more each morning. This story highlights that evaluating habits and planning strategically improves efficiency and personal growth. Travel teaches adaptability. My friend Daniel and his wife planned a vacation to several countries. On the first day, a train they intended to take was canceled. Instead of stressing, they checked alternative routes, asked for local advice, and adjusted their itinerary. They discovered a hidden museum that was not on their original plan. This story shows that flexibility and seeking alternatives enhance travel experiences. Effective communication at home creates harmony. My neighbor Laura noticed confusion about weekly chores. Instead of arguing, she suggested a family meeting where everyone could share preferences and responsibilities. By listening carefully and negotiating a fair schedule, they created a smoother household routine. This demonstrates that clear communication, empathy, and structured discussions improve relationships and daily efficiency. Professional growth often comes from consistent practice. My colleague James decided to improve his public speaking skills. He started by recording himself giving short presentations and reviewing the recordings critically. He also practiced in front of colleagues for feedback. Over time, his confidence and fluency improved significantly. This story emphasizes that consistent practice, seeking constructive feedback, and self-reflection lead to measurable improvement in advanced skills. Finally, time management is crucial for professional success. My friend Olivia had multiple projects with overlapping deadlines. Instead of working randomly, she prioritized tasks by urgency and importance, allocated focused time blocks, and minimized distractions. By doing this, she completed all tasks efficiently without compromising quality. This story shows that prioritization, focused effort, and structured scheduling enhance productivity and personal growth. Let's start with learning from challenges. My friend Henry wanted to learn to cook more complex dishes. At first, he often made mistakes, but instead of giving up, he analyzed what went wrong, followed recipes carefully, and practiced repeatedly. Eventually, he was able to cook meals confidently for family and friends. This story shows that patience, consistent effort, and learning from mistakes are essential for mastering advanced skills. Problem-solving in social situations is another important skill. My friend Anna attended a large networking event where she didn't know anyone. She prepared thoughtful questions, approached people politely, and listened actively, showing genuine interest. By doing this, she formed meaningful connections with professionals in her field. This example highlights that preparation, curiosity, and active listening help build strong social and professional relationships.
Adaptability is crucial, even at home. My friend Michael experienced a sudden plumbing issue. Instead of panicking, he identified the problem, shut off the main water supply, and researched quick solutions. With calm action and practical steps, he resolved the issue efficiently. This story demonstrates that staying calm, analyzing situations logically, and taking practical action are key when emergencies occur. Delegation is vital in professional settings. My colleague David managed a complex project with tight deadlines. Instead of handling all tasks alone, he identified each team member's strengths and delegated responsibilities accordingly. He provided guidance and monitored progress without micromanaging. The project was completed successfully. This example shows that delegation, trust, and supervision are essential for effective leadership. Cultural awareness is also important in international work. My friend Emma traveled abroad for business meetings. She observed local etiquette, listened carefully, and asked polite questions to ensure she understood expectations. Her respectful approach strengthened professional relationships and avoided misunderstandings. This story highlights that cultural sensitivity, observation, and adaptation are key in international communication. Learning from experiences accelerates growth. My friend Rachel shared a story about her student Adam, who struggled with advanced vocabulary. Instead of avoiding difficult words, Adam wrote them down, practiced using them in sentences, and asked for clarifications during lessons. Over time, his language skills improved significantly. This demonstrates that structured practice, curiosity, and active engagement accelerate learning. Professional problem-solving often requires calm analysis. My colleague Olivia faced a sudden change in project requirements from a client. Instead of reacting emotionally, she analyzed new priorities, adjusted the workflow, and communicated the revised plan to her team. They implemented the changes efficiently, and the client was satisfied. This example shows that calm thinking, flexible planning, and clear communication are essential in dynamic work environments. Planning is just as important in personal life. My friend Thomas wanted to host a small family gathering. He made a checklist, coordinated tasks with his wife, and prepared contingency plans for unexpected events. On the day, everything ran smoothly, and everyone enjoyed the event. This story demonstrates that thoughtful preparation, teamwork, and foresight lead to positive experiences. Problem-solving applies to daily routines as well. My friend James noticed his home Wi-Fi was unstable. Instead of immediately calling a technician, he identified devices causing high usage, restarted the router, and adjusted settings. The connection improved, and he learned a practical skill. This shows that logical observation, troubleshooting, and patience often solve everyday challenges. Teamwork at home is also valuable. My friend Emma redecorated her house with her family. She assigned tasks based on skills and interests, communicated clearly, and coordinated effectively. The project was completed efficiently, and everyone enjoyed contributing. This demonstrates that collaboration, communication, and shared effort improve both efficiency and satisfaction. Adaptability is critical in professional settings too. My colleague Daniel faced an unexpected technical issue during a virtual client meeting. Instead of pausing the meeting entirely, he calmly explained the situation, switched to alternative visuals, and continued the presentation. His professionalism impressed the clients. This story shows that adaptability, calmness, and clear communication are essential at work. Learning through observation is another powerful skill. My neighbor Laura noticed her garden plants were wilting. She studied sunlight patterns, soil conditions, and watering techniques. After adjusting care routines, her garden flourished. This demonstrates that careful observation, analysis, and adaptation lead to successful results in everyday life. Travel often teaches lessons in planning.
My friend Anna and her husband booked multiple city tours. On the first day, one attraction was unexpectedly closed. Instead of being frustrated, they asked locals for alternatives and adjusted their itinerary. They discovered a unique local market that became a highlight of the trip. This shows that flexibility, curiosity, and proactive problem-solving improve travel experiences. Managing stress professionally is essential. My colleague Olivia had overlapping deadlines and unexpected client requests. Instead of rushing, she prioritized tasks, focused on high-impact items, and communicated progress clearly. She completed her work efficiently while maintaining quality. This demonstrates that prioritization, focus, and communication are key to handling stressful professional situations. Conflict management is another valuable skill. My friend Rachel shared an experience from work. She was leading a project where two team members disagreed about strategy. Instead of letting the conflict escalate, Rachel organized a structured discussion. Each person presented their ideas, and she summarized the main points for the group. They combined the best elements from both proposals, resulting in a stronger plan. This shows that mediation, active listening, and solution-focused thinking are critical for resolving conflicts. Decision-making in personal life requires careful analysis. Last year, I had to choose between two job offers. One offered a higher salary but required long hours and frequent travel, while the other offered better work-life balance and growth opportunities. I made a pros and cons list, discussed it with my wife, and considered long-term goals. I chose the position with better balance, and it proved to be the right decision. This story shows that careful analysis, consultation, and prioritization lead to better choices. Adaptability is essential in professional life. My colleague Olivia faced unexpected changes in project requirements just a week before the deadline. Instead of panicking, she revised the workflow, reassigned tasks according to team strengths, and communicated changes clearly. By remaining flexible and focused, the team completed the project successfully. This shows that adaptability, clear communication, and strategic planning are essential in dynamic work environments. Time management is another critical skill. My friend Henry had multiple commitments on the same day, including personal appointments and work deadlines. Instead of juggling tasks randomly, he created a detailed schedule, allocated time blocks for each activity, and included short breaks to maintain focus. By following this structured plan, he managed everything efficiently and reduced stress. This demonstrates that planning, prioritization, and discipline are key to managing time effectively. Travel experiences teach practical lessons. My friend Anna and her husband planned a road trip to several scenic locations. On the first day, a bridge was unexpectedly closed, so they had to find an alternative route. They researched local maps, asked residents for guidance, and adjusted their plan. This unexpected detour led them to a beautiful small village they had not planned to visit. This shows that flexibility, curiosity, and proactive problem-solving enhance travel experiences. Learning from mistakes is essential for growth. My friend James decided to try advanced cooking techniques at home. His first attempt failed because he miscalculated ingredients. Instead of giving up, he reviewed the recipe carefully, practiced each step, and corrected his approach. The second attempt was successful, and he impressed his family. This shows that persistence, reflection, and attention to detail are essential for mastering new skills. Finally, effective communication at home strengthens relationships. My neighbor Laura noticed tension between family members due to unclear responsibilities. She suggested a calm discussion, allowed everyone to express their views, and proposed a fair schedule for tasks. By listening actively and encouraging compromise, she improved family dynamics. This demonstrates that open communication, empathy, and problem-solving strengthen relationships.
Let's start with negotiation. My colleague David had to discuss terms with a supplier. Instead of focusing only on price, he considered delivery schedules, quality standards, and future cooperation. He discussed each aspect openly, listened carefully, and found mutually beneficial solutions. The negotiation concluded successfully. This example shows that understanding different perspectives and communicating clearly are key to effective negotiations. Now, let's talk about strategic thinking in everyday life. My friend Thomas wanted to increase his productivity at home. He identified low-value tasks, eliminated distractions, and created a focused routine for essential activities. Over time, he noticed a significant improvement in efficiency and satisfaction. This story demonstrates that analyzing priorities, removing inefficiencies, and implementing a clear plan improve personal performance. Teamwork is another critical skill. My friend Sarah led a design project where team members initially disagreed on the creative approach. She encouraged everyone to share their ideas, summarized key points, and proposed a combined strategy. The result exceeded expectations. This example highlights that collaboration, inclusion, and compromise lead to stronger outcomes. Problem solving is essential, even at home. My neighbor Michael discovered a leak in his bathroom. Instead of panicking, he assessed the situation, researched possible solutions online, and took practical steps to fix the problem with the help of his wife. This story shows that careful observation, research, and collaboration help resolve everyday challenges efficiently. Professional growth requires consistent effort. My colleague Olivia wanted to improve her presentation skills. She recorded herself, practiced in front of colleagues, and requested constructive feedback. Gradually, her confidence and fluency increased significantly. This example illustrates that consistent practice, feedback, and self-reflection are essential for developing advanced skills. Adaptability is also important, especially during travel. My friend Daniel and his wife visited a city known for heavy traffic. When their planned tour bus was delayed, they researched alternative routes, used local transport, and adjusted their schedule. They managed to visit all planned attractions and even discovered a local cafe along the way. This story demonstrates that adaptability, problem-solving, and curiosity enhance travel experiences. Learning through observation is another powerful tool. My friend Emma noticed her plants were not growing well. She observed sunlight patterns, soil quality, and watering habits, then adjusted care routines. Within weeks, her garden flourished. This shows that careful observation, analysis, and adaptive action lead to successful results. Effective delegation is essential in professional settings. My colleague David managed a complex project with multiple deadlines. Instead of attempting to complete all tasks himself, he assigned responsibilities according to team members' strengths, provided guidance, and monitored progress. The project was delivered on time and exceeded expectations. This example highlights that delegation, trust, and structured supervision are key leadership skills. Decision-making in everyday life requires careful thought. My friend Laura had to choose between two apartment options. She evaluated factors like commute, space, and long-term comfort, discussing priorities with her husband. They made an informed decision that suited their lifestyle. This demonstrates that evaluation, discussion, and prioritization lead to better choices. Problem solving in social situations is equally important.
My friend James attended a professional event where he didn't know anyone. He prepared thoughtful questions, introduced himself politely, and listened attentively. By engaging genuinely, he formed meaningful connections. This example shows that preparation, active listening, and social skills strengthen networking outcomes. Managing stress professionally is a skill we all need. My colleague Olivia faced overlapping deadlines and last-minute client requests. She prioritized urgent tasks, focused on one activity at a time, and communicated progress clearly. She managed her workload efficiently while maintaining quality. This highlights that prioritization, focus, and communication are essential under pressure. Personal growth often comes from persistence. My friend James decided to learn digital marketing. Initially, he struggled with technical concepts and tools. Instead of quitting, he studied daily, practiced exercises, and asked for guidance from experts. Over time, he successfully applied his skills to real projects. This demonstrates that persistence, structured learning, and practical application lead to mastery. Effective communication at home strengthens relationships. My friend Henry attended a family gathering with distant relatives. He introduced everyone politely, asked engaging questions, and listened actively. By showing genuine interest, the gathering became enjoyable and relationships strengthened. This example shows that active listening, polite engagement, and genuine interest improve social interactions. Problem solving in emergencies is critical. My friend Michael faced a sudden power outage. He checked the situation, prepared emergency supplies, and coordinated with neighbors to ensure safety. By staying calm and taking practical steps, he managed the situation efficiently. This story demonstrates that foresight, composure, and coordination are essential in urgent situations. Adaptability is also key in professional settings. My colleague Daniel experienced a software failure during a virtual client meeting. He calmly explained the situation, switched to backup materials, and continued the presentation. His professionalism impressed the clients. This example highlights that adaptability, clear communication, and calmness are essential in high-stakes environments. Innovation drives improvement at work. Daniel's team was tasked with creating a more efficient filing system. Instead of following the usual approach, Daniel encouraged free brainstorming, combined ideas, tested small prototypes, and refined the system. The result was more organized, time-saving, and user-friendly. This demonstrates that creativity, experimentation, and collaboration lead to effective professional solutions. Goal setting is essential for personal growth. Last year, I decided to improve my physical fitness. I set specific, measurable targets, created a workout schedule, and tracked my progress weekly. Some days were challenging, but by staying consistent and adjusting exercises when needed, I achieved significant improvements. This story highlights that setting clear goals, monitoring progress, and staying committed are crucial. Problem solving in professional scenarios is often urgent. My colleague Olivia noticed a report contained inaccurate data just before a major presentation. Instead of panicking, she verified key figures, corrected errors, updated visuals, and communicated changes to her team. The presentation went smoothly, and clients appreciated the accuracy. This demonstrates that composure, attention to detail, and quick action are vital in high-pressure situations. Effective communication in social life builds trust. My friend Emma attended a community gathering where most people were unfamiliar to her. She introduced herself politely, asked open-ended questions, and listened actively. By showing genuine interest, she quickly formed meaningful connections. This example shows that openness, curiosity, and attentive listening improve social interactions.
Travel teaches adaptability. My friend Anna and her husband had planned a scenic hike, but heavy rain made the path unsafe. Instead of canceling, they explored nearby attractions, visited a cultural museum, and enjoyed a local cafe. They ended the day with discovery and satisfaction. This story demonstrates that flexibility, curiosity, and problem-solving enhance travel experiences, even when plans change unexpectedly. Finally, managing responsibilities at home requires organization. My neighbor Laura had several household tasks and family commitments in a single day. She created a clear schedule, prioritized urgent activities, and asked her husband to assist with specific chores. By coordinating effectively and communicating clearly, she completed everything efficiently. This demonstrates that organization, prioritization, and collaboration improve daily productivity and reduce stress. Let's begin with professional growth through continuous learning. My colleague James wanted to enhance his data analysis skills. He enrolled in online courses, practiced exercises daily, and applied new techniques to real projects. Over several months, his efficiency and confidence improved significantly. This story emphasizes that consistent practice, structured learning, and applying knowledge lead to measurable professional development. Now, let's explore problem-solving in unexpected situations. My friend Michael's car broke down during a long trip. Instead of panicking, he assessed the problem, called for roadside assistance, and researched nearby repair shops. While waiting, he explored the town and discovered a small historical site, turning a setback into an opportunity. This story demonstrates that calmness, logical thinking, and adaptability improve outcomes in unexpected challenges. Teamwork is also key, even at home. My friend Emma decided to redecorate her living room with her husband. She assigned tasks based on skills, communicated clearly about preferences, and coordinated the timing of each step. The result was efficient work, a beautiful living space, and a sense of accomplishment for both. This shows that collaboration, clear communication, and planning enhance both outcomes and personal satisfaction. Leadership matters in professional settings. My colleague David managed a large project with tight deadlines. Instead of micromanaging, he set clear objectives, encouraged initiative, and provided guidance when needed. Team members felt empowered, completed tasks efficiently, and delivered high-quality results. This example demonstrates that trust, clear direction, and supportive leadership are essential for team success. Decision-making is part of everyday life. My friend Laura had to choose between two weekend plans: attending a family reunion or participating in a local workshop. She evaluated priorities, discussed preferences with her husband, and considered long-term benefits. They opted for the workshop, which turned out to be both enjoyable and educational. This shows that thoughtful evaluation, discussion, and balancing priorities lead to better personal decisions. Problem-solving is also critical in professional scenarios. My colleague Olivia encountered a technical error during a client presentation. She quickly assessed the issue, implemented a backup plan, and communicated the solution clearly to the audience. The presentation was successful, and the client appreciated her professionalism. This story demonstrates that preparation, adaptability, and clear communication are essential in professional settings. Learning from observation is a powerful tool. My friend Rachel noticed her garden plants weren't thriving. She studied sunlight exposure, watering habits, and soil conditions, then adjusted her care routines. Over time, the garden flourished beautifully.
This highlights that careful observation, analysis, and applying learned insights lead to successful results in everyday life. Delegation is another key leadership skill. My colleague Daniel managed a complex project with multiple deadlines. He identified team members' strengths, assigned responsibilities accordingly, and provided guidance without micromanaging. The project was completed efficiently and exceeded expectations. This shows that delegation, trust, and structured supervision are essential for effective leadership. Strategic thinking can improve daily routines. My friend Thomas wanted to boost efficiency at home. He analyzed tasks, identified bottlenecks, and implemented a structured routine that maximized productivity. Over time, he completed daily responsibilities faster and with higher quality. This example illustrates that planning, analysis, and practical implementation enhance efficiency in everyday life. Adaptability is important in social situations as well. My friend James attended a professional seminar where the schedule changed unexpectedly. Instead of being frustrated, he adjusted his plan, attended different sessions, and worked with new people. He gained valuable insights and built meaningful connections. This story demonstrates that flexibility, positive attitude, and proactive engagement enhance both learning and social outcomes. Learning from mistakes helps us grow. My friend Emma attempted a challenging recipe for a family dinner. Her first try failed because she misread instructions, but she reviewed the recipe carefully, practiced each step, and successfully prepared the dish on her second attempt. This shows that reflection, persistence, and iterative practice are essential for mastering complex skills. Effective communication strengthens relationships. My neighbor Laura noticed her family members were stressed due to misaligned schedules. She organized a calm discussion, encouraged everyone to express preferences, and negotiated a fair weekly plan. The family routine improved and stress decreased. This story demonstrates that listening, empathy, and structured discussions improve coordination and relationships. Initiative drives productivity. My friend Emma noticed her team struggled with organizing documents efficiently. Instead of waiting for instructions, she developed a new filing system, explained it to her colleagues, and demonstrated its use. Her initiative improved team productivity and saved significant time. This shows that initiative, proposing solutions, and guiding others positively impacts workflow and morale. Resilience is crucial for achieving goals. Last year, I attempted a half marathon. During training, I faced setbacks, including minor injuries and schedule conflicts. Instead of quitting, I adapted my plan, sought advice from experienced runners, and maintained consistency. On the day of the marathon, I completed it successfully. This highlights that resilience, adaptability, and consistent effort help us overcome challenges. Decision-making in professional life requires careful evaluation. My colleague Daniel had to choose between two vendors for a crucial project. One offered a lower price, while the other had stronger reputation and better quality assurance. He analyzed risks, consulted with his team, and chose the vendor ensuring long-term success. The project proceeded smoothly, demonstrating that analysis, consultation, and prioritization are key for professional decisions. Effective communication in social settings builds networks. My friend Rachel attended a networking event where she didn't know anyone. She approached small groups, asked thoughtful questions, and listened attentively. Within a short time, she built meaningful connections and exchanged contacts for future collaboration. This highlights that proactive engagement, curiosity, and attentive listening strengthen networking skills. Travel teaches us flexibility. My friend Henry and his wife planned a weekend trip to a coastal town. When a ferry was canceled due to weather, they quickly explored alternative routes and discovered a scenic road trip option. Along the way, they found a hidden beach and enjoyed a memorable experience. This demonstrates that flexibility, creativity, and a positive mindset enhance travel experiences.
Problem-solving at home requires observation and teamwork. My neighbor Laura's dishwasher stopped mid-cycle. Instead of panicking, she examined the machine, followed the troubleshooting guide, and fixed a minor blockage. With her husband's assistance for heavy components, they resolved the issue efficiently. This story shows that observation, patience, and teamwork are effective for everyday problems. Continuous learning is essential for professional growth. My colleague Olivia wanted to improve her negotiation skills. She studied case studies, attended workshops, and practiced scenarios with colleagues. Over several months, she became more confident and effective. This story emphasizes that structured learning, consistent practice, and application in real situations are key for skill development. Handling emergencies requires composure. My friend Michael experienced a sudden storm while hiking. He assessed the terrain, guided the group to a safe location, and coordinated supplies efficiently. Everyone stayed safe. This story demonstrates that calmness, logical thinking, and quick decision-making are crucial during emergencies. Teamwork enhances personal projects. My friend Emma wanted to renovate her kitchen with her husband. She outlined tasks, delegated according to each person's strength, and coordinated timing. They completed the renovation efficiently and enjoyed the process. This shows that planning, collaboration, and communication improve both results and satisfaction. Leadership in professional settings drives success. My colleague David managed a diverse project team. Instead of dictating every step, he set clear goals, encouraged autonomy, and provided guidance when necessary. Team members felt empowered and motivated, leading to high-quality project completion. This demonstrates that supportive leadership, trust, and clear expectations are essential in team-based work. Let's start with decision-making in daily life. My friend Thomas had to choose between attending a weekend workshop or a family gathering. He weighed the benefits, discussed options with his wife, and considered the long-term value. They decided to attend the workshop, which offered both useful skills and enjoyable experiences. This demonstrates that evaluating priorities, consulting stakeholders, and considering long-term benefits improve personal decision-making. Now let's look at professional problem-solving. My colleague Olivia faced an unexpected change in a client's requirements just days before delivery. She assessed priorities, revised the plan, delegated tasks efficiently, and communicated adjustments to her team. The project was delivered on time, exceeding client expectations. This shows that strategic planning, adaptability, and clear communication are essential for success in fast-paced environments. Learning from observation can make a big difference. My friend Rachel noticed her plants were not growing well. She analyzed sunlight, watering frequency, and soil conditions, then adjusted her approach. Within weeks, her garden thrived. This highlights that observation, analysis, and practical adjustments produce effective results in everyday life. Delegation is a key leadership skill. My colleague Daniel managed multiple overlapping projects. He identified team members' strengths, assigned responsibilities accordingly, and monitored progress without micromanaging. The projects were completed efficiently and met all deadlines. This demonstrates that delegation, trust, and structured oversight are vital for effective leadership. Strategic thinking applies to daily routines too. My friend Henry wanted to improve his efficiency while working from home. He analyzed his schedule, removed non-essential tasks, and created focused time blocks for priority activities. Over time, he completed tasks faster and with better quality. This example shows that analyzing routines, prioritizing effectively, and applying strategic planning enhances productivity.
Adaptability matters in social situations. My friend James attended a seminar where the schedule changed unexpectedly. Instead of becoming frustrated, he adjusted his plan, attended different sessions, and worked with new attendees. He gained valuable insights and established professional connections. This demonstrates that flexibility, proactive engagement, and a positive mindset improve both social and professional outcomes. Learning from mistakes is essential for growth. My friend Emma tried to assemble complex furniture for her home. She initially misread instructions, but instead of giving up, she reviewed the manual carefully, followed the steps methodically, and successfully completed the assembly. This shows that reflection, persistence, and structured practice are key to mastering challenging tasks. Effective communication strengthens relationships at home. My neighbor Laura noticed her family struggled to coordinate schedules. She organized a calm discussion, listened to everyone's concerns, and suggested a fair weekly plan. Communication improved, conflicts decreased, and family harmony increased. This demonstrates that empathy, listening, and structured discussion improve relationships and coordination. Professional growth comes from consistent practice. My colleague James wanted to enhance his analytical skills. He practiced using data software daily, solved real-world problems, and sought feedback from mentors. Over time, his efficiency and confidence improved significantly. This story illustrates that consistent practice, application, and mentorship accelerate professional development. Problem solving is valuable during travel. My friend Anna and her husband planned multiple city visits. One attraction was unexpectedly closed, so they asked locals for suggestions, adjusted their itinerary, and discovered a cultural festival. This demonstrates that curiosity, flexibility, and proactive decision-making improve travel experiences. Time management is crucial in personal life. My friend Michael had several commitments in a single day. He created a detailed schedule, prioritized important tasks, and focused on one task at a time. He completed everything efficiently, showing that planning, prioritization, and structured execution improve productivity. Leadership is important in community projects. My friend Thomas organized a local charity event. He assigned responsibilities clearly, encouraged teamwork, and monitored progress without micromanaging. The project succeeded, showing that leadership, organization, and communication are critical for achieving group goals.
Adaptability is also essential at home. My friend Henry faced an unexpected plumbing issue. He calmly assessed the situation, researched solutions online, and fixed the problem with his wife's help. This demonstrates that logical thinking, composure, and teamwork are effective for handling unforeseen challenges. Innovation can improve daily routines. My friend Olivia noticed that her kitchen workflow was inefficient. She rearranged utensils and ingredients based on frequency of use, added labels for organization, and created a simple checklist for daily tasks. Over time, her kitchen became much more efficient. This shows that observation, creativity, and practical implementation improve everyday efficiency. Resilience is key for personal goals. Last year, I attempted to learn a new language while managing a full-time job. Progress was slow at first, but I adjusted my study methods, incorporated short daily practice sessions, and engaged in conversations with fluent friends. Over several months, my skills improved noticeably. This demonstrates that persistence, adaptation, and consistent effort help us achieve challenging goals. Professional problem solving requires composure.
My colleague Daniel had to prepare a project report under tight deadlines. Midway, he realized some critical data was missing. Instead of panicking, he prioritized urgent tasks, reached out to team members for information, and updated the report efficiently. The client appreciated the timely and accurate submission. This highlights that calmness, quick problem solving, and prioritization are essential for professional challenges. Communication is key for social networking. My friend Emma attended a community seminar where she didn't know anyone. She approached small groups, asked thoughtful questions, and listened actively. Within a short period, she established meaningful connections and exchanged contacts for potential collaboration. This story demonstrates that proactive engagement, curiosity, and attentive listening build strong networks. Travel teaches adaptability. My friend Henry and his wife planned a weekend trip to a mountain resort. When a landslide blocked the main road, they researched alternative routes, sought local advice, and adjusted their itinerary. Along the way, they discovered a hidden waterfall, which became the highlight of their trip. This demonstrates that flexibility, problem solving, and a positive mindset enhance travel experiences even when plans change unexpectedly. Problem solving at home requires observation and teamwork. My neighbor Laura discovered her washing machine was not draining properly. Instead of panicking, she reviewed the manual, checked for common issues, and fixed a minor blockage with her husband's assistance. The machine worked perfectly afterward. This shows that careful observation, research, and collaboration resolve practical problems at home. Continuous learning supports professional growth. My colleague James wanted to improve his project management skills. He enrolled in online courses, studied case studies, and applied new strategies to his projects. Over time, his confidence and efficiency increased. This emphasizes that consistent learning, application, and reflection are crucial for developing professional expertise. Emergencies require composure. My friend Michael was hiking when a friend twisted an ankle. He quickly assessed the situation, provided first aid, and coordinated transportation to the nearest medical facility. Everyone remained safe, showing that calmness, quick thinking, and practical action are vital in emergencies. Teamwork improves personal projects. My friend Emma and her husband repainted their house. They planned each task, delegated according to skills, and coordinated timing. The project was completed efficiently and was enjoyable for both. This illustrates that clear planning, collaboration, and communication enhance outcomes in shared tasks. Leadership drives professional success. My colleague David managed a diverse team on a complex project. He encouraged initiative, set clear goals, and provided support without micromanaging. Team members felt motivated and empowered, and the project exceeded expectations. This demonstrates that trust, guidance, and empowerment are essential for effective leadership. Finally, structured practice accelerates learning. My friend Rachel shared that her student Adam struggled with advanced listening skills. Adam practiced daily, listened to podcasts, and summarized key points. Over time, his comprehension improved significantly. This illustrates that consistency, active engagement, and focused practice accelerate learning. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of English Without Limit. As we've seen through all these stories, from decision-making and problem-solving to adaptability, communication, leadership, and continuous learning, the key to growth in life and in English is consistency, reflection, and a willingness to take action. Every challenge, mistake, or unexpected situation is an opportunity to learn, improve, and strengthen both your skills and confidence. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent, curious, and adaptable. Apply these lessons in your daily life, in your work, and in your interactions, and you'll see steady progress over time. Thank you for joining me today. Keep practicing, stay curious, and never stop learning. I'll see you in the next episode of English Without Limit.